All right, thanks so much, Elizabeth. Hey, if you usually try to love your dog through table food, you definitely want to stop doing that. It's going to be very dangerous to their health. Here with me now is Megan Tatoris, veterinarian at ABQ Pet Care. Good morning.
Morning.
We talked earlier about some of the foods you should avoid, especially during Thanksgiving, the table scraps, and how it can be harmful and dangerous for our pets. But now we're going to go a little bit more in depth on pancreatitis and what it's all about within dogs, what causes it, and how we can prevent it.
Yeah, so basically pancreatitis is inflammation of your pancreas.
Okay.
And that can be caused by, eating fatty foods or if your dog is overweight. So especially during Thanksgiving, people want to feed them table scraps, a really big fatty meal, and then it can make them very sick.
Okay, what kind of symptoms?
Yeah, so usually what happens is the pancreas sends off these enzymes that can, start to eat away your intestines, your pancreas, so it can cause them to be very sick, nauseous, so there's vomiting, and it's really painful. So those dogs are in a lot of pain, and I just touch their abdomens and they hurt a lot.
They do, and you can just tell right away if a dog is suffering from
yeah, definitely. Any of that
pancreatitis.
vomiting, if they don't want to eat, they're not acting normal, those are all things that you want to make sure.
And it all comes from eating fatty table
Yep,
foods.
fatty food. A lot of it too is genetic. So schnauzers, cocker spaniels, and even cats too can get this disease.
Oh, cats too. Wow, that's scary to hear, especially because, sometimes whenever you're eating your yummy food and your dog's like sitting there with his pitiful eyes and you just want to, you're like, oh, just one little treat here and there, but it adds up after a while.
Exactly. And people can get it too. So, it can be very serious and life-threatening. We've had dogs, even with all the medications and treatments in the world, die from it. So.
Oh no, so how do you treat this?
Yeah, so usually, we have them come in. It's a really easy, quick test, so you can do it right in-house. You know the answer right away.
Okay.
And then we give them fluids and something to stop their vomiting and calm their stomach to try to get that pancreas back to normal.
Is this something that's pretty common?
It's very common, especially after Thanksgiving, after Christmas time. That's when we see it the most common.
Yikes, because there, you know what, it translates down to the pets. I think we a lot of times overindulge during the holidays and then ends up getting transferred down to our pets too, unfortunately, and sometimes they can't even handle it as good. Sometimes we can't handle it, but sometimes they have an even tougher time handling it, it sounds like. Well, thank you so much for the information on pancreatitis and some of the symptoms to look for. Definitely try to stay away from feeding your pet some of the greasier stuff and just kind of keep them on the pet food if possible and look for some of those symptoms too if you see them. Thank you so much for coming in with all that information. And we're going to have a link on our website with that info for you on our website, casa.com. And I'm going to have another check on your weather coming up after the break. We're going to be talking all about the Polar Express as well. Find out where and when you can catch all the magic coming up next.